Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion is called Parshas Chukat. The beginning of the parsha speaks primarily about the ash of the red heifer and how it was able to purify people from the impurity of death, and that purification allowed them to participate in the activities of the tabernacle and in the temple afterwards that was built in Jerusalem. But there are two other episodes that are very interesting in the parsha. It's about the passing of Miriam and Aaron, the older brother, sister and brother of Moses. It's a very interesting dichotomy when the Torah describes the passing of Aaron as opposed to the passing of Moses. About Aaron, it says that everybody mourned him. About Moses, it says that only the men mourned him. Why was it that by Aaron everybody mourned and by Moses only some? Because Aaron had a certain strategy. When he would see the two people were fighting, husband and wife or two colleagues, two friends, and nothing helped. Nothing could get them back together. Okay, so he had a certain strategy. He would go over to one of the spouses or one of the colleagues and he'd say, you know what, the other person really wants to get together. Okay, and he would go to your spouse wants to get together, your husband wants to get together, your wife wants to get together. And then when they would see each other, they would run over to each other and hug each other and the relationship would be put back together. Okay, beautiful. But how could you base doing a mitzvah on a lie? He was actually lying to them. That question the Rebbe brings to explain that answer. How could he actually use a lie to do a commandment? The Rebbe brings up another idea in Torah as a parallel. It's about giving a get, giving a divorce agreement. Sometimes a marriage is toxic. It's not going anywhere. Everybody agrees that the people have to split up. The husband must give the wife a get. Okay, and the husband, for whatever reason, doesn't want to. He has a quirk in his personality. He has a phobia. His evil inclination maybe took over him. He doesn't want to give the get. So what does the rabbinical court do? The rabbinical court forces him until he says, okay, I'll give it. Okay? How can they force him? He's being forced. It's against his will. But the answer is that since the Maimonides brings in his code, since every Jewish people really wants to be part of the Jewish people, he really wants to connect, to do all the commandments. He really doesn't want to do any sins. Okay, really deep it down inside, he wants to do it. Only his evil inclination is holding him back. His quirk is this phobia. Okay, even though it doesn't look like it, he really wants to do it, and therefore they're allowed to force him. The same way we say about all the commandments. Every Jewish people really wants to do everything in the Torah. We don't want to be separated from Hashem. We want to be part of the Jewish people. Okay, but sometimes our evil inclination, quirks, phobias hold us back. This is what Aaron saw. He saw deep into the inner part of each person. He saw they really wanted to be together, that there was no reason for them to be separated, and therefore he could use this strategy to bring them back together. So it should be for us. Each person should be like Aaron the Kohen. We should each see the inner part of the person. We should see what they really, really want and help them to achieve it, and that's how we're going to bring the redemption. Shabbat Shalom.